Hello. So I have already done a video sharing this album that I made, which isn't really a mini album, but it's really big actually. And I received quite a few requests to share how I made it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you measurements. I'm not gonna make one straight through, but I will make the pages and I will make each of the add-ons for you so that you see how I made it. But I'm not going to put together a whole book again because obviously I haven't even used this one yet. But I will show you how I made each and every page, or each and every add-on, and how I made the pages, and then give you all the measurements, okay? So to start off with, the first thing I did to make this size book, I have a chipboard cover and a chipboard spine, and the chipboard is cut to 9 1/4 by 7 1/4 for the front and the back. That's 2 pieces of chipboard, 9 1/4 by 7 1/4, and the spine is 3 1/2 by 7 1/2. If you don't want as many pages as me, just cut the spine down to what you need, okay? Each of my pages has about 1/2 inch gusset. You don't need that much, but I planned on putting a lot of stuff on them, so you could give them less of a gusset and then make your spine a little smaller. You can tell my spine is very, very wide, so you know, you can downsize it if you'd like to. Okay, but let's go ahead and get started then. So the first thing that we will work on is the base page, and that is this piece right here and the flap, and then it is also a large pocket. Okay, so I'll show you how I made that piece first. To start off, you need let's see here. We need a piece of cardstock that is 10 by 7 1/2. A piece of cardstock that is 9 by 7, and then for the flap we need one that is 9 by 7 1/2. Okay, and then we're gonna just make a few score marks. I'm using some pattern paper that I have around that I don't think I will ever have a need for, and so I can use it up for this project. Let's see here. Perfect. So we're going to start with our piece that is 10 by 7 1/2, and I have it in here at the 10 side. What we're going to do with 10 at the top, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay? Then you're going to turn it, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch on one side. That's all. That's all you do for that piece. Then you're going to take your flap, which is going to be 9 by 7 1/2, and you're going to put it in your board. So the 7 1/2 is at the top, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch on the top side of the paper. If it's directional, you want to score it at the top side. Okay? And then you don't do anything with your 9 by 7 piece. Okay? So once you're done with that scoring, you'll see that the base pages come together very simply. We're going to start off by just removing the 2 corners where we made the little squares with our score marks. Okay? Then you're going to fold all of your score marks. Like that. And like that. Because this book is so large, if I made a whole one with you guys, it would take forever. So I'm just going to go ahead and make each of the pieces and then show you how I put it together. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to apply our adhesive to the pieces here. I can't find my tape runner, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And in the book that I made, I used plain cardstock and then I matted it. But for this example, I'm using the pattern just because I didn't want to waste any paper. So then you just stick your 9x7 piece on, and it's quite simple. There you have your pocket there, so you can see we have a pocket. Okay, and then you determine what is your front. This is going to be my front and this is going to be my back, and we put the flap on the back. You could very easily put the flap on the front if you wanted to. For it to make your book just like I made mine, my flap is on the back. All you do is fold up your flap and apply your adhesive to the inside of that flap. Then take your pocket page and you're just going to stick your flap into it. If it doesn't quite fit, just cut off your corners like that and it will help it go in there easier. So you're just going to stick it in there just like so. And then you can see you have a pocket and your page is set. Okay? So there's our flap, and now we turn it over, and this is going to be your front. This is where you're going to attach your add-on, okay? I'm going to go ahead and make this page one more time just because I cut out 2 of them so that I could show you how to make the base page twice. If you get it, then go ahead and skip through this part and then go ahead on to the next part. Alright, so you take your piece that is, this piece is 10 by 7.5. I put it in my scoreboard at with the 10 on the top, and I score it at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then I turn it and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch there as well. Okay, then I'm going to do nothing with my piece that is 9 by 7, and I'm going to take my 9 by 7.5 and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch along the top, just like that. Okay, that's all the scoring you need to do for that part. For the base page, I like to make all my base pages first and then put on my add-ons. And you could do all the same add-ons, you could do all different add-ons, however you feel like you like it. So I cut off my corners here, and now I'm just going to fold up my score marks here, just like so. And then I'm going to apply adhesive to the folded edges, and you don't really need to use a wet glue for this because it's folded, but I didn't want to dig for my tape runner, so I'll just do it this way. And also I'm lining up my cutter, for some reason, cut these a little bit crooked, and if yours does that too, what you want to do is make sure that you line it up with the top. That's the part that will be the most obvious if it's not lined up correctly. So I line it up with the top and then put it on the rest of the way. And then all I have to do is take my scissors and trim off any excess that I have around the outside, just like that. Okay, then once again you take your flap here, apply your adhesive to the flap, insert it into your pocket. Make sure that you put the adhesive on the inside of this flap or you will seal your envelope. That part is pretty important. And then we just stick it in there like so, and then we have our second page. So you can see how easy, if you cut out all the pieces beforehand, you can see how easy your base page will come together. If you're using a pattern paper that does not have a back, you could mat this as well. Okay, so we have our two base pages, and then also what I did to mount to put mine into the book, I just took a hinge and put it on the side, and that works really well if you want to do it that way. Or you could use Kathy's hidden hinge system, or any other way, however you normally bind your books. The only thing is if you're going to use spiral bound, you're going to want to cut a little bit off your flap before you do that, so it might make it a little bit harder. Okay, so let's go on to these add-ons right here. I'm calling this add-on 1. So add-on 1, you need 2 pieces of paper. I'm only going to make one because they're made exactly the same, so you only need one. You need 2 pieces of paper that are 9 by 7. You're going to put it in your scoreboard with the 9 along the top, and you're going to score it in half, which will be at 4 1/2. Nice and simple, very easy. Okay, and then you're going to turn it around, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, just like that. And you're going to do that twice so that you have it for both, so you have 2 of them. Okay, and then all you're going to do is you're going to remove the corners on one side, and then you're going to cut up. You're going to just remove one side of this fold here. Essentially all I'm doing is making a large standalone pocket. Okay, then you're going to do your folds just like that, and then fold these ones in and these in, and then you apply your adhesive there and seal it up. And then I put a little notch here so that I could easily pull out the tag. And then the last thing that I did was I put a hinge on the top here so that I could easily attach it to my base page. And I did that before I mounted it. I would recommend doing this with solid color because there's going to be a lot of you're going to be sticking on a lot of flaps, and it would look better if you can hide those under the pattern paper. So I would recommend doing it that way. It will look better in the end if you cover all your flaps with paper. So these ones are attached at the top. I just cut a hinge and put it on there. Quite simple. If you're not familiar with how I do hinges, a lot of my other albums show how I do my hinges, okay? All right, then we're going to make this add-on, which I'm going to call add-on number 2. And to do add-on number 2, come here, sweetie. What you doing? You want to see what I'm doing up here? My little puppy wants to say hi. She's new to us. Elsa, 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 look up here. Do you want to say hi? Look, say hi, puppy. Oh, you don't want to say hi. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, you need to get down now. Go find Kenzie. Sorry about that. Okay. Here we have add-on number 2, and for add-on number 2, you're going to start with a piece of paper, with 2 pieces of paper that are 11 by 6 1/4. Okay, you could easily downsize that if you want to, if you don't want to waste so much paper, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. But how I did mine is I just started with a piece that was 11 by 6 1/4. Okay, and then all you need to do is score it at 4 1/4. Okay, and you're going to do that to both sheets of paper. Score it at 4 1/4, just like that. Quite simple. And then you're going to fold in your pages. Okay, and then all you're going to do is apply a little adhesive to the back of one of your pieces, not the whole piece, just part of it like I did here. And then you're going to slide them together, making sure to line them up with the bottom, and then put them together just like that, and then open it up, and now you have this add-on right here. And the only other thing I did is if I missed a little bit on the back, like you can see part of this not stuck down, I would just open it up after I stuck it and apply a little more glue and then put it down. But I put them together like this so that I can make sure that they line up exactly how they do on my book. And then you just glue that down to your page. Quite simple. Okay. Now let's go on to this one. This is add-on number 3. Oh yeah, I forgot to also mention these each have tags in them, and all I did was cut the tags to fit into the pockets. I believe these tags are 4 3/8 by almost 6. So just measure the insides of your pockets and cut your tags to fit that. That's also what I did for these tags. I just cut them to the size that I wanted them. Okay, so to start with this is just 2 pockets. I'll take these out here. This is just 2 side loading pockets glued to my base page. Okay, one of them is longer than the other. One goes down all the way and one does not. Okay, so to do that you need 2 pieces of cardstock, and they are going to be cut to 5.5 by 8 and 4 by 8. Okay, we're going to start with the 5.5 by 8 piece. Bella, no. Okay, and we're going to put this in at the 5.5 on the top, and we're going to score this at a 1/2 inch at the bottom of it, and then we're going to turn it and we're going to score it a 1/2 inch on both sides. And then we're going to take our 4x8 piece, and you're just going to score it at a 1/2 inch on each side on the 8th side. Okay, quite simple so far. Then we're going to take our scissors, remove corners. If you remove your corners like this, where you cut off a whole triangle, it helps them to not be so bulky. And in a book that's already incredibly bulky, you definitely want to just have them meet up in the corner and not overlap each other when you fold. And I'll show you what I mean by that. When you fold around to the back, see how my pieces, they just meet up. They don't overlap at all. They don't always necessarily meet up either, but that's okay. Alright, and then all you're going to do is fold those two sides, and then you take your base page, making sure that your opening is at the top, and you're going to start with the piece that you scored on 3 sides, and all that's going to do is get attached at the bottom like that. Okay, and then this one is going to get attached inside that one. Okay, just like all I did is line up my score marks there, and then I'm going to place it onto my page just like that. And then I will have, let's see, here we go. I'll have a pocket here and a pocket right here. This one will be really, really deep, and this one will be not quite as deep, okay? That gives you your side loading pockets. Just like that. Alright? Then we have this fun little add-on here, which goes like that and gives you lots of room for photographs. Okay? And the only thing that makes this different is that I scored it with a little bit of a gusset there, so that once the photographs are in there, this will lay down a little bit nicer still. So, to do add-on 4, which is what we're calling this one, you need a piece of paper that is 8, nope, add-on 4, sorry. This is 11 by 6 1/4. You're going to put it in your scoreboard, and you're going to score this one at 6 1/4 and 6 3/8. Okay, and that gives you just a little tiny bit of a gusset. If you feel like you need a little bit more, score it at 6 3/4. Okay, this one's just going to give us 1/8 of an inch gusset, which I think will be perfect for just adding more photos to. Okay, once you do up your folders, you're going to have just a little tiny gusset there, okay? Then you're going to have 4 pieces that are cut to 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. And you're going to put each of them in your scoreboard at 4 3/4 and score it at a 1/2 inch. Okay, then we're done with that. All you gotta do then is do up your folds here. Okay, then take your base page again. We got the cover, and you're going to start with this, and you're going to apply your adhesive here, and then you're going to stick this down kind of off to the side a little bit, okay? Because you want to make sure that you're going to have room for the rest of your flaps. You're just going to glue that just like that, okay? Then what I did, because I wanted to make sure that some of my pocket hung out, I wanted to be sure just how much. I kind of put it in there kind of where I wanted it. I think I kind of like that, okay? And then all I did was open it back up and make a little mark. Just a little one, you don't need a whole lot of room, or a whole lot. If I could find my pencil. Pencil, where are you? Okay, I guess I can't find my pencil. Here we go. Why does it never fail that I have one when I'm ready, but then as soon as I start filming, I can't find it? Okay, you just make just a little tiny pencil mark, okay? And then flip this over and put your adhesive on this side and glue it down. Okay, then after you do that, you get your next one, and you're going to put your adhesive down here, and you're going to put this one right up to that one, making sure that you line them up like that. And then same thing for the next one. You're giving yourself about a half an inch, or a half an inch, because you're using your fold there for each one. And now you can see they're all down, they're all glued, and then when you close this, you can see a couple of them. Okay, so you just glue those down just like that, and then you'll have a sideways sort of waterfall effect. All right, and now for add-on number 5, which is this one, which is actually very simple. All this one is a piece, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Okay, take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 8.5, and then all you're going to do is fold it like that, so it looks kind of like that. And then this part, there we go, you're going to adhere this part right there, just like that. Oops. Okay, it's going to go just like that, and then you're going to take your second one, if I'd folded a second one, and you're going to have the same little piece, and you're going to adhere it right on top of it, and then when they're all done, whoops, they're going to fold up just like that, and then you're going to have a lovely little fold up. And then for the next page, we used this one again, which you already know how to make now, and then on this page I just used 3 of those flaps that I used on the first one, and then I did the pockets again exactly the same way, and then I just made my tags to fit in there. Okay, and then on the last page, this is just a library pocket with a couple of folds in it, and a couple of cards in it, I mean, and then just 2 pieces of card there, and then we have our little pocket. And the way that I made this is I cut a piece, a round piece that I thought would fit right here, or a piece that I just took a square that I thought would fit right there nicely, and then I rounded it, and then I scored 2 of the sides in half and folded them, and then I attached the 2 folds down, and it makes a nice little interesting pocket. just like so. So there we go. And I believe that in the original video that I did not show that each of the base pages was a large pocket. So now you know each base page here also is a large pocket. Can you see that? They're all pockets. Okay. And then in the front I just have some more cards. So I hope that helps you make it. I hope you make one. And if you do make one, I would love to see how it turns out. And if you have any more questions, absolutely feel free to send me an email or post a comment, and I will do my very best to answer them. And hopefully I'll be able to get back to you quickly. So have a great day, and again, let me see if you make it, okay?